where we can go for small periods during the day or the week to go into the arc and then come back out to the storm of our lives. And sometimes we go in for a little bit longer, for, say, a retreat period, a few more days or a week at a time. But I want to investigate how we build various arcs of practice that will hold us in a really chaotic world and through chaotic times. To think about this week, what are the various practices that you have that serve as arcs, places that you could just go, forget the world. And I'm not talking about the mindless ones like binging Netflix, but our yoga practice, perhaps meditation or gardening or reading or knitting, etc. What are they for you that hold you? So Aselecha Teva wanted a quiet place where the soul can rest only for a few moments. So in our practice today, we're just going to rest ourselves. I mean, we're going to move and we're going to do some things, but a lot of what I'm doing, most of what I programmed for us today, um, gives us support from somewhere. So in child pose, we have support for the front body. And now we're going to come to our backs and take some support for the back body. Bring your strap with you, just have it nearby. Lay down on your back and draw the right knee in for a hug. Left knee can be bent or left leg can be long, flexing the foot. Feel that support, that arc of support up from the floor. You can draw the knee out to the side and in, or take circles to just open up some synovial fluid in that hip joint. And then grab your strap, and we're going to take the foot up toward the ceiling, the leg up. And you can place the strap anywhere you like on the foot. They just have different effects. You could choose the heel or the arch across the middle of your foot or the arch across the toes. Start to open the hamstrings, the calf, the Achilles. And let the back of the head be easy. Take refuge in the breath. Anchor your attention in the breath. You don't have to change it. And then taking both sides of the strap into the right hand, ground your left thigh or hip point with your left hand and take that right leg out to the right. Toes drawing up toward your right shoulder. The right sitting bone magnetizing towards the left inner heel. Inhale and come up. Take both sides of the strap to the left hand and the right arm out 6 inches to the left. Oh, and you'll feel it in the IT band, in the outer hip. Draw the foot again toward the forehead. And then release the strap. Point and flex through that right foot. You can keep a bend on the knee here if you like. Really luxuriously moving through the whole foot as you go. And then make circles in one direction, opening up the ankle. other direction. Squeeze the toes and spread them. Squeeze the toes and spread them. And then just give the leg a shake in the air. Engage the abs as you point the toes and lengthen that leg out as though somebody's pulling on your big toe. Lengthen out towards the ground. And once you get there, give the legs a little roll out, shake out. And we'll take the other side. Take that left knee and hug it in. And again, right knee can be bent or right leg can be long. And as you like with that right knee, you can move it out and in a little bit or in circles. It's finding a little movement or just keep it on that same plane and hug in if you prefer. And then extend the leg up towards the ceiling. Take the strap. Again, on the heel or on the arch or on the front, across the front arch. Find your edge. So it's not too much, but you're just where you want to be. No pain, no strain. Just a gentle stretch here. And then take both sides of the strap into the left hand and take that left leg out to the left. Ground through the right hip, the right thigh. Come on up. Take both sides of the strap into the right hand and cross that left leg over to the right just a few inches. Draw the foot toward the head side of your body. Little IT band stretch, the outer leg. It's a big one. And then come back to the center, release the strap, point and flex. Back and forth, really opening the top of the foot and the bottom of the foot. Making circles one direction and the other. Squeeze the toes, spread the toes, squeeze, spread. And then we're going to come up to a squat. One suggestion is a little rock and roll, taking the hands behind the thighs and just rolling it a little back and forth. Or you can turn to the side, of course, and come on up. And then as you get up, going to take a squat with the blanket under the heels so that you have some support. So the heels are on something, right? So the heels can take refuge onto the blanket. Again, if this is not comfortable on your knees, seated on the chair with the knees wide, folding forward. And then as you're ready, can release the blanket there and lift the hips, fold over into a ragdoll. Nice bend with the hips, let the head hang. And you might want to take hold of opposite elbows and swing a little side to side, or just let the forearms bring the torso down. Feel the breath in the pelvic bowl. And then as you're ready, slowly, time, you can take support by bringing the hands to the thighs if you like, stacking vertebra by vertebra, slowly Engaging your core to support the lower back. Making your way up. Beautiful. Grab your chair and place it on your mat. Stand in front of it. I'll show you from behind. We're going to take mountain pose by turning the palms to face forward and pressing the hands to the back of the chair as the upper thighs are just resting gently against the chair. Lightly pressing with the hands. And this allows us to feel a nice opening across the collarbones, across the chest. Mountain pose. Stable, supported. So in each pose, we're looking for, just as Admiel Kosman is asking in that poem, a quiet place to rest, just for a moment. So how can we get quiet wherever, in whatever shape we're in? Now we're going to do a forward fold with some support. You can place your blanket or bolster onto the chair. Again, you can also use table, desk, bed, sofa, but you want to have the height to support you as you come forward. The feet are, actually, let's take the feet mat width apart and turn the toes in just slightly. Inhale, lift front and back body. Exhale, fold forward at the crease of the hips. And then we're going to take hold of opposite forearms and rest the forehead. So this width of the legs and the little bit of turning on the toes helps widen the low back, across the sacrum here. Taking support, an arc to rest in for a moment. And then see if you can allow the skin of your forehead to move in the direction of the eyebrows, that is down the face, rather than in the direction of the hairline. So you can try it both ways and kind of notice when you move the skin of the forehead in the direction of the hairline, it opens the eyes and kind of brings wonder, excitement, and activation, right? But when you move the skin of the forehead down towards the brow, the eyes can close, the eyelids can rest, and it invites the mind to soften and rest, to come into the arc. Let's take some quiet breaths right here. And when you're ready, you can come on out. I think that my noise cancellation is on, so you can't really hear it, but outside my house, it's incredibly windy and tempestuous outside. So I feel even more dramatically that, I'm held in this arc of support and practice right now. We're going to take Warrior 2 with the chair. Move the chair over toward the right side of your mat. And then you will want perhaps some cushion from a blanket. You might want even more. You'll see what you need to lift up. You come across the chair so that the chair really supports your right thigh. And we take warrior two here. Left toes in, right toes out. You could simply pause and place the hands right at the tops of the thighs, each thigh, and press down and ground yourself. So the chair stabilize or teva. Or you can take the arms out to the sides, gaze over the right side, however you like. But allow the body to land, to be safe, to be secure here. Very different flavor valence from warrior two as we normally practice it. And then switch sides with the chair. And we'll take the other side. So find your way in. And again, of course, if you need to build up, you'll build up a little more. Warrior two to the left, right toes in, left toes out. Once again, you can ground the thighs, press down. You could take it out, shoulder height, draw the shoulder blades down, taking the gaze over the left fingertips. But mostly just feel that support where the chair meets the thigh, where the pelvic floor can be engaged yet rested. And then release. We'll take the chair to the wall, if you've got a wall. So we're going to do a twist. And we're going to use the wall, but of course you don't have to use the wall if you don't have one available. This is going to be like this, right? If you have the wall, I'm starting by twisting to the right. You can start either direction, of course. I've got my right foot up on the chair, 90 degrees, and I've got my hip wedged right into the wall, right at the wall. As I inhale, press the foot down, lift the crown up. And as you exhale, twist to the right, that right hand comes to the wall. You could take both hands to the wall, but I'm pressing in with my right hand. And again, the right hip is wedged at the wall to work this twist. So it's a little different way to look at the twist. And see if you can get some softening in that bottom rib band as you come around. Take the gaze wherever is comfortable. So you can take the gaze all the way around towards your right fingertips, or you could rest your forehead even on the wall. Stamping down into that standing foot. And then as you're ready, slowly release. Take a little counter twist in the other direction. Opening up. And then turning the chair. Take the other side. So left foot on the chair, left hip wedged here at the wall. Inhale, stamp that right foot down, that standing foot, lift up through the crown. And exhale, twist to the left, left hand to the wall, and find the other side. Notice how it might be different. So the arc of support here coming from the wall, coming from the chair. Finding our bearing. See if you can soften once again in that lower rib band as you lengthen through the tailbone and hollow the abdomen as you twist. And then come on out and take a counter pose, opening the other way. Okay, we're going to come to the floor. Seated, we're going to face our chair and bring our blanket with us. And you might want something on the chair, another blanket or bolster. Not necessarily, but cross the legs. Inhale tall, and as we exhale, coming forward to the chair. And again, you can take hold of opposite forearms here, or you can extend the arms towards the top of the chair. See what works for you. Again, we can take the skin of the forehead toward the eyebrows. Where can you soften? Each one of these beautiful shapes offering rest in a different manner. When it gets really stormy out there, we sometimes even forget that we have this arc of practice. So sometimes we just have to remember to remember. It's right here for us, a place we can go temporarily and be held. And then with as little movement as possible, changing the cross of the legs, have the other shin in front, and coming forward once again. Feeling the breath. Anchoring in the steady rhythm of the breath. And then come on up. You can push the chair away. We're going to take the blanket and open it up a bit. Open it up to the long fold, and across the long length of the fold, make a loose jelly roll. We're going to bring that jelly roll. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees apart. We're going to take that jelly roll on top of the feet and then take it under the ankles. And then we're going to lie back in a reclined cobbler. So Ankles together, knees apart, blanket on top, coming under the ankles to support. And that also kind of helps the knees, gives a little support to the knees. And then we're going to lie back. The arms can go anywhere that's comfortable. On the low belly or low ribs, out to the sides, goalpost, or perhaps holding opposite elbows above the head. See what feels comfortable for you. And we'll be here for a few minutes. The arc of support coming from the earth. You can begin, if you like, to engage the three-part breath. As you inhale, feeling the belly rise, and then the ribs, and then the upper chest, and then exhaling completely, chest, ribs, belly, full exhale. And inhaling again, belly. Feel the expansion of the ribs and the opening of the upper chest all the way to the collarbones. And then exhaling in reverse, upper chest, ribs, belly. Continuing like this. We call it three-part breath or complete breath. And then as you're ready, draw the knees together, roll over onto one side, and press yourself on up. One more thing, and that's legs up the wall, or alternatively, you can do legs to the chair, lower legs to the chair. We're going to take the blanket back to this fold and place it against the wall. And then we come right over to the wall and onto the blanket. And you kind of have to do a little into this. The legs go up the wall. So if your own hamstrings are quite open, then you can have the sit bones. If the hamstrings are flexible, you can have the sit bones right at the wall. If the hamstrings are less flexible, to whatever degree, you'll move back from the wall, so you have a little ease for the hamstrings. And so here we are, legs up the wall, taking rest. If this is not for you, follow me on this one. You'll take your blanket onto your chair. And place the legs up to the back of the knee, all the way to the back of the knee, hitting the back of the chair. So you support the whole lower leg. The thighs are at a diagonal, and you lie down. So either legs up the wall or legs on the chair. Taking support in the teva, in the arc of stillness. If your legs are up the wall, scooch a little bit back from the wall. Bend your knees and draw them toward your chest. That's for all of us. Chair or wall, hug the knees. You can rock a little bit side to side. If you have some room, take your hands to your knees and just make some circles with your knees, massaging the low back. Going one direction, and then take your time going the other direction. And just staying here in this little hug. Wanted a quiet place where the soul can rest only for a few moments. Wanted a place to serve as a foothold only for a few moments. Wanted a flower pot, a leaf, a stem, or a bush that will not get up and collapse when she comes, only for a few moments. Wanted one word that is clean, pleasant, and warm, that serves as a bench, a shelter for someone, my close one, my dove girl, my soul, who left the ark for a few moments in the morning hours and has since found no resting place for her foot. With thanks for this poem to Rabbi Lisa Goldstein, who shared it this week in the weekly teaching. Take your time to come up to a comfortable seat. And give yourself a hug. It might be your hands to crossing your arms across your chest and taking a hand to opposite shoulders or across your ribs, or even taking a hand to each side of your face, some way to hold yourself, to hug yourself, to bring yourself into the safety of the ark. So today we really went through many different that amount to a somatic version of Aselecha Teva. Make for yourself an ark. May we continue to draw from these beautiful, vast gifts, these resources, to know that there's always a moment, even small, to go into the ark and away from the storm. Lastly, take one hand to your chest and one hand to your belly. Feel the rhythm of your own breath. And here we send the benefits of our practice outward, bringing to mind anyone who may need healing. Sending our blessings that the remains of those hostages who are left in Gaza will be returning home. We're not forgetting them. And that the people of Gaza may be able to return home, that all may have safety and security and peace. May all beings be free from suffering. When you're ready, you can release your hands and slowly open the eyes, come back to your space. Take in the colors, the textures, the light in your room. Wishing you Shavua Tov. Thank you for practicing. We'll be together again next week. Please do check out Josh Fagelson and Jane Eisner's class upcoming. Avail yourselves, of course, if you're interested and have time. The IJS Torah study. And please check out the Kripalu retreat. Hope you can come. We'll take some time now for Q&A. I also want to say if this practice or any of our resources from IJS have been helpful to you, you're always welcome to make a donation in absolutely any amount to help further our resources that we're able to offer to you at no charge.